I'd also like to pay my respects to the traditional landowners on this land in which we gather today. It's a very special meeting for us all here as males, and with the support of our women here today. And to the elders, both past and present, and the support from my fellow colleagues and mum and dad sitting here today. And my respects to my brother, who we lost last year. It's something he was very passionate about with the Aboriginal community controlled sector. I'd never wanted to take part in it because I didn't want to work under my own mum, because everybody else worked under mum. I wanted to be different. So when he lost his life, I seen that as my calling, and I finished my trade as spray painting, and I thought, this is my calling and my turn to step up and follow them footprints that mum and my brother have set in the sands for me to take now. The blueprint, it's a very important framework, and as you can see with the guidelines it has that Mark and Johnny have put in place, it's very culturally appropriate, very gender appropriate to us. Health's nothing I never went and seen a doctor. 22 years of age, mum was still taking me to the doctor. You know, everyone looking, what's he doing with your mum there, you know? Like, couldn't go to the doctor. So I've been in the health sector for, say, 6-7 months now as a practice manager for Gulbury. I've probably been to the doctor 20 times now. I see that importance because it is who we are, our health. If we don't look after ourselves, how can we look after everybody else? You know, the week he had down in Canberra was very mentally draining of him. He come back home, got on charge, partied up, did that normal stuff, but forgot about himself. And that's what contributed to his death, because he didn't see the importance of having a sick day. You know, we were supposed to have a sick day that day, but too committed to work, forgetting about ourselves, putting everybody else first and thinking of everybody else. So that's a big, hard life lesson for me, but now I know that I have to look after myself in order for mum and dad to live that happy life. You know, you can't leave your own health alone. You know, if you go through stats, there's 12.6 years difference between European settlement to us. 12.6, that's a big number. You know, 12 years and six months I've achieved a lot. I've seen a lot. 12 years you can achieve a lot, and you can make a big difference for our people. So we've got to see the highlight of that 12 years and see the difference we can make and change for our people, and that better health and life outcome. So, you know, you can lose your head when you're being irrational with your decisions, and that's what he's done. He's made an irrational decision because he didn't acknowledge it. So there's all these underlying contributing factors that reduce our life expectancy, and that's smoking, drinking and drugs and all that, and we all know it's there. But I smoke, I drink, but I can't change my way. So how can we change the mob that's sitting in that park still drinking and smoking if we can't change our ways? So it's not about being a role model or putting yourself in the spotlight. It's identifying those issues, making change upon ourselves so that other people can see the benefits and the better outcomes they can have for their health. So we've got to change a lot in our lives, as well as helping everybody else around us. Mental issues is a big contributing factor. I never acknowledged I had depression. I can say it now, I've got depression. I can get up and go and see a doctor and say, look, I'm not feeling real well, maybe this medication ain't good for me. There's referral pathways. I see a psychiatrist now. I've got someone to talk to. I can't even talk to my own girlfriend about my own issues. But because there's respectively people who can help us, and that's appropriate, they're sensitive, they're not you know, calling you out on it saying, oh, what's wrong with you? They're saying, how can I help you? So we really got to start looking at those things, because mental health is a big factor that I believe, and we have to start acknowledging it even in our own lives. Just got a couple of notes here that I want to go through. So today we walked from, we had Brekkie there, we walked across that bridge and we walked into that park. And that's very symbolic because we got to break down them barriers, and that's what we did at breakfast. We broke down the barriers, we had them yarns, and we had a look at everybody's perspective on our health, male health, and then we made that bridge, and we walked across that bridge. We acknowledged that we have underlying issues, and we put it out there. We put it out in the open, and we said, how do we fix this? We made that bridge, we crossed that bridge, and then we walked into the gateway, which is Musgrave Park, which was very appropriate and very symbolic for us this year. And we came together as one, male and female, and we worked together. And that's what we got to do. And that's what this framework's doing. It's making it better for us males to have better health outcomes. So yeah, it's in our clinic, 25 years and older, there's a big drop. Men aren't accessing these services. So just in our clinic alone, without looking at everybody else around this country, I can tell you now that males aren't accessing clinics or doctors from the age of 25 and upwards. And that's from, I believe, an old stereotype, because we want to be tough. We don't think about ourselves at times, but it's selfish because we're hurting the ones around us instead of fixing ourselves up when we're sick. So whether it's a lump, bump, a pain, we've got to start acknowledging it and have early intervention on his primary health. So Jaydon's life motto, so it was, to be better than you've ever been, you must change what you've always done. Well, we've got the same health outcome, it isn't improving, so we must change it. And if we don't change it, we're going to get the same outcome every time. And we're not going to get that 12 years of life. 12 years of life, you could near see your 4 generations underneath you. That's the benefits of it. You can see your family grow up. You can see them make a man of themselves. You can see their kids grow up, and then when they have kids. But at the moment, we don't have that because we're not living long enough. We're not living like the non-Indigenous of this land. So I think that's as much as I could say. I'd like to let that sink in, and hope you all have a good night, and thanks to everybody for listening, and thanks to Mark and Johnny there for letting me do this speech and putting my spin on it. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thank you.